Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. Kitchen time again, and I'm going to have a go at this Masdevallia ignea, and there's several reasons. That's one of them. That moss is starting to go, and it has lots of air holes in the pot where there is no media at all. And the other reason, which is more important, is the root base is well away from the media. These new roots are coming out and they're not getting into anything. Yeah? So it's potted too high. Now it may not have been deliberately potted too high. It may have actually been okay once, and where it's pushed down with the roots, it's pushed itself up. Because obviously moss has got nothing to hang on to. But it's got quite a good root system. I'm going to have to get this in under the tap because this is actually quite compacted. I'm just beginning to wonder what these little fine roots are. I wonder if there was a fern in there once. That doesn't look like Masdevallia roots, or certainly doesn't to me anyway. So I'll give this a rinse under the tap to get all the moss out. I don't want to damage these roots, even though it's got quite a few new ones coming. And quite honestly, this would be a perfect time to split that. And it looks like it's got a natural split down the middle. But I want a big, mature plant. I don't want two. I want one big one. So I'll give it a clean up. Looks like it's had some slug pellets in here with that staining. But yeah, this is there's large areas of this with no roots in. Yeah, it is. It's just starting to go. So we'll give it a good clean up, see what we've got left, and then decide what we're going to do with it. So I'll be back. Right, I'm back. Bad news is that root system was nowhere near as good as it looked. It's an awful lot of just roots that just pulled away. But what we've got is quite a lot of new ones starting, and all it really needs is to be a bit deeper in some media so that all these newer roots have got something to get into. So that's what we're going to do. It's going to go in that. That's not quite such an open pot as the previous one, and it did actually have a solid bottom, so I've just made a load of holes in there because obviously I need the water that goes in that tray to soak up. And because it's quite a deep pot, I mean, although a lot of those roots weren't very good, they were obviously quite long. So it's capable of producing quite a long root system, quite a deep root system. Yeah, so slightly deeper pot for this one. Try and accommodate what it looks like it had before. I'm just trying to fluff this up a little bit. So it does get quite compacted where it gets rained on, it does get squashed in. And of course it's not growing much this time of year either, being winter time. I mean, it's still green in places. Most of the green has now been taken off the top of the tray to use for the plants, and it will start greening up again. It'll start growing, and then once the better weather comes, it will start really taking off again, and I'll have a nice pot full of green again quite quickly. It re-establishes itself very quickly after taking the top off, because what's underneath may look brown and manky, but it's not actually dead. It's still alive. It's just the top shows green. Right, how high in the pot is that going to be now? I think that'll be about right. I think what I'll do is I'll actually put some moss under there before I put it in the pot. That'll save me trying to wiggle it round after I put it in the pot and breaking root tips off. So we'll try and get them all in, and then it's just a matter of dropping some moss down the sides. Making sure this time, great big long bit of grass there, making sure this time that the base of the plant, not buried, but is in contact with some media, so that any new roots that do push out can get straight into something and take off, rather than being aerial. So there's a lot of these do just grow in hanging moss, so they do have quite loose root systems, unlike the true tree dwellers. But nonetheless, as I water, this moss will become a little more compact. Now what I've got is different levels in the pot, because that's how the plant has grown. So around the back here, yeah, the root base of the plant is at a lower position than the newer parts of the plant round the front. Yeah, so I've just adjusted the level of the moss to suit where the base of the plant is. And now I'm just going around double checking that I haven't messed that up and buried any of the rhizomes completely. Still want to be able to get some air around them. There we go. That's not too bad. Yeah, it's a little bit deep in that area. Take a bit out and put that there where it's not quite so deep. And I'll just get round that little part of the base, because that bit's quite high up, that bit there. It's effectively the front of the plant, I expect. Okay, that'll do. No packing, no pushing down, just that's it. That's all it needs. Gradually the roots will bind all that together when they grow. He says when, confidently, not if. No, I think with live sphagnum it should take off an awful lot quicker than it probably would have done in the inert dry stuff that has to be moistened and then used. And I'm hoping that quite a few of these, the Masdevallias I've already got, the Draculas are already done, but I'm hoping to use the live sphagnum more and more. It makes sense. It's what they, you know, more like what they would be growing in, although they probably wouldn't be growing in sphagnum moss hanging off a tree, seeing as it tends to live in boggy places, more like puddles than trees. So anyway, that's that one done. Now this one has got a lot of new growths on it, so I'll be able to tell as that root system gets a hold, because these new growths will mature and not stall. But there are quite a few. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So quite a few new growths pushing on here. So hopefully they won't stall and the roots will get going. So there we go. That's Masdevallia ignea. And as far as the colours are concerned, it really is one of my favourites. Almost impossible to get a camera to actually show this colour properly. But anyway, that's that one done. I don't like that label. I'm going to put a new one on. It's all flippy floppy. Get a nice proper one on there. Okay, see you next time. Bye for now.